All right, welcome to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races live from the beach in Margate, New Jersey. We got a beautiful night for racing. And help me call the action, former Ocean City Lieutenants John McShane and Scotty McKay. And guys, how time flies when you're having fun. We're back at it.
Here we are on the beach again.
Here we are on the beach, and we're in next to the last. We're in the second race of the big three, as they like to call it. Starting off with the Dutch Hoffmans last Friday night. A lot of action there, Bill, as you described, with the paddleboard. But right now, we're into the final two races, and we're down to we're racing the three most traditional races in South Jersey: doubles row, swim, and singles row.
Yeah, it all starts pretty much with the Dutch Hoffmans and the Margate Memorials, and of course the South Jersey Championships. And the Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races were started in 1946 by Bud Graves and Pete Glick, who served as Marines during World War II, and they started a scooter to honor the people that lost their lives fighting in World War II for this country.
It's amazing. It's been 74 years, and I don't think they've had a race they've ever canceled for weather or anything. It's been 74
Not to my
straight.
knowledge, no.
Yeah,
I mean, Scott, I can remember sitting here during thunderstorms,
right.
and they get the race in, but it's quite a testament to the Margate Beach Patrol throughout history.
Yeah, we have a great race lined up for tonight. The beach patrols are slowly starting to assemble here on the beach in their lanes. Scotty and I were up for the lane draw. Explain that, Scooter, because you were a lieutenant in Ocean City's Beach Patrol for a long time. Tell our listeners what the Chiefs meeting's about.
Yeah, I was involved in from Ocean City's point of being at these meetings and bringing the boats over and getting everything ready for it. So basically what they do is they have 15 patrols here tonight, and they throw a lane number and a color of the flag into an envelope, into a bucket, and then they went by this year they went by north to south, so Brigantine was the first one to pick. It's funny, they picked lane one. They grabbed one right off the bat. But
that's ironic.
Yeah, and it's kind of neat because there's definitely some advantage. I don't think you really want to be on the outside sometimes. Seems like the boat's in the middle. They're competing with each other. And if you're on the outside lane, you don't have anybody to look to going out, maybe onto your right or something like that. So it makes it interesting. It makes it for better competition.
Yeah, I think you're right. Better visual when you're in the middle like that. And I'm just looking at the course tonight. Actually, I've been watching the sets come in, Scott. Got a little stuff coming in up here at the north end. Whether anybody can use it to their advantage.
You guys, the conditions are, I would say it was calm, but there is a few swells coming in. There isn't any wind to speak of.
No wind. Tide's on its way in, so if there's any drift at all, it'll be towards the south, probably negligible at this point. And you do have some sets. You got a little bit of a gully out there. So you see those guys coming back in, they're going to be working to try and catch that wave.
Absolutely.
Could be a real difference maker tonight.
We're here in Margate, New Jersey, right in front of Lucy the Elephant for the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races. This tradition dates back to, like I said, 1946. And these competitors, we've been watching it all summer. John, we saw the AC Classic, we saw the Dutch Hoffmans. At these competitors, they're top-notch athletes, man.
They're top-notch athletes. Not only that, aside from the big races that they've been doing, you got to realize a lot of these towns racing some of these smaller, I'll call them regional races, the Tri-Cities, the Tri-Resorts, the Brigantine relay races. There's any number of smaller scale races during the week. So they have been racing and they have been training, and really it comes down to the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Scooter Longport has dominated over the last 3 to 4 years. I mean, Mike McGrath has been just dominant with Sean Duffy. Of course, their swimmer, Joey Tepper, is phenomenal.
He's phenomenal.
I don't think anybody's going to beat him. Are they, John?
Well, I hope there's some tugging and grabbing going on tonight because these are the big races we're in now, and it's time to get a little aggressive.
I had a conversation, and I sort of said to the competitor, I said in this way, in the old days, there'd be some guys with a reputation that you didn't want to get too close to them. And,
Right.
Listen, we always say open water swimming is a contact sport.
It's a contact sport.
So, but, I mean, he's so darn fast, you can't get a hold of him.
Right. Well, anybody that's ever played water polo knows what goes on to the water is beyond anyone's belief. Trust
right.
me.
Exactly.
I spoke with Atlantic City swimmer Jack Fenton, who, he got a couple seconds, and even Kevin Brady from Ocean City was in the mix. And I said to these guys at the end of the race last week, I said, hey, what are you going to do to stop Joey Tepper? I say, can you grab him?
You got to get in front
Because that's the
of
only
him,
way they're
hold
going
on
to beat him.
Yeah,
Right.
He's a little too fast. But, yeah, Longport has been on fire this year. They won the AC Classic. They won 3 out of 4 events that night. They won the Red Bull lifeguard competition again for like the 3rd time maybe in 4 years.
And they are the reigning champions.
They
from
are the
last year,
reigning.
the Margates.
I mean, going in tonight, Scott, you got to say, all right, look, there's our favorite. But who do you like with at least a chance to knock them off?
Now, the scoring for these races, I'm looking on our handout. The scoring is you get a 5 for first.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in this race. So you don't necessarily have to win coming first in every event. You just got to, play. You got to stay close to Longport.
Yeah. I mean,
Because let's face it, you guys, Longport is the perennial favorite in this race.
I've gone back and looked at the history of not only Margates but the South Jerseys too, and there was races where a team won and never had a first place.
Well,
3 seconds will win you this thing.
A recent example is when Avalon won their South Jerseys a couple years ago.
Yeah,
A second, a third, and a fourth.
Matter of fact, John, you and I were down there in Avalon, and that was one of the best finishes we've ever seen.
Yeah, that was they hosted that year. But Scott's got a point. Whoever wins the doubles is going to be able to pretty much dictate the way things go. Like I say, every point is going to be important. You want the upper townships, maybe the Stone Harbors or an Ocean City. You want to see those guys in the mix to stop Longport, to stop Margate potentially from running away with this thing.
So we have we covered the AC Classic, like I said, the Dutch Hoffmans in Upper Township. The doubles crew from Upper Township had a nice finish in the doubles row with Kyle Rubaker and Ryan Fisher, and they only edged out Mike McGrath and Sean Duffy, by a couple seconds. And then Brandon Joyce and Steve McGuinn came in. I don't think Brandon's rowing tonight. I believe it's going to be Brandon Wilhelm tonight, Scott. Or we got to change in the programming.
Change the program a little bit.
And then, of course, you can't out Chuck Howdy and Chris Graves. They've been dominant for the last 7 years.
They're back into it. They're rowing doubles tonight. Chuck will not have to double up singles. And don't forget, their swimmer, Joe Rogers, he was second last year to Tepper in the jerseys. He's a good swimmer. You have Burkett from Wildwood Crest. You've got Fenton from Atlantic City. So these swimmers are capable of getting in there for those seconds and thirds. All right, and then if they're boat crews, like Grenice.
Oh, and I was going to say, we left out Vince Grenice and Kyle DeRue.
Atlantic City and Wildwood.
You got this. This is such a competitive race. This doubles. These guys have been around. They got experience.
Remember, Hansen and Slattery won the Dutch Hoffmans.
That's
you got
to
count Vendor in there for this big first race.
Right, and what that does, that's going to make it more difficult for teams like Longport and Margate to blow this thing open early.
Right.
But in my estimation, you really need a swimmer tonight.
I'll tell you what, the conditions is humid. The ocean is glass, but there are a few waves coming in, which will make for an exciting doubles finish because, some of these guys, look, Scooter, it could be neck and neck. If you get on a wave and keep the boat straight, which is a challenge, and you got to be experienced to keep the boat straight, it could make the difference between a first and a third.
Well, I'll tell you what, on races like this with the ocean, it's pretty calm. There's 3 keys. It's your start, your turn, and however you can direct that boat to the beach, the quickest way you can get it there without broaching or something like that. So, especially, it looks like the singles it might be 4 minutes. I think it's always supposed to be between 4 and 6, but it looks like it's probably on a shorter end. So the start is crucial in this thing, and there's really no big waves here breaking. So those are the things that you really got to pay attention to.
Exactly. It's like a sprint in swimming.
It's a beautiful night for racing. Come on down. We're in front of the Lucy the Elephant for the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races, and they're competing for a big trophy. We got a chance to see that trophy up there, Scooter. It almost looks like the Stanley Cup.
It's a big trophy, so that's something these guys want to fight for, man. They've worked all summer for this, and it's their night tonight. So we're gonna have a big crowd here, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the starting line. When are they gonna put the starting line in? Pretty soon, I hope.
Probably when they get all the boats out. There's still some people out there warming up. And, as much as we talk about teams winning this, there's a lot of individual pride as well. Your team may not be the team that's going to take the overall trophy, but you want to come home with a trophy. You want to come home with a first, second, or third if you can.
All right, real quick, let's set the doubles crew up real quick. We'll just run it down. Atlantic City's crew is Kyle DeRue, Vince Grenice, Avalon, Matt Wolf, Gary Nagel, Brigantine, Matt Dolan, Jack Seville, Cape May, John Nees, and Jake Smith. They've been competitive. Cape May Point doesn't have an entry. Longport, Mike McGrath and Sean Duffy. Margate is Chuck Gowdy and Chris Graves. And that crew right there has been dominant over the last few years. We'll get into that. Sean Stram and Mark Strange for North Wildwood. Of course, Ocean City is Matt Garbett and Paul Boardman. Seattle City is Pat Scapanicio and Danny Rogers. Stone Harbor is Stephen Pasacco and Kurt Kitchener. Upper Township is Ryan Fisher and Kyle Rumaker, and they had a good showing, like we said earlier, in the Dutch Hoffmans. And then, of course, Sean Slattery and Brett Hedson from Ventnor, Brandon Wilhelm and Vince Fitzpatrick from Wildwood, and Wildwood Crest, Pat Bakey and Jay Klecko, who they won the Bastion Callahans. So a real competitive race.
I talked to Bill Stoll, who was a longtime Ocean City patrol and has been in Upper Township now for a while. One of their rowers, I think, got hurt earlier, and they might have a change in there too that we don't know about yet. So,
all right. So you're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races, brought to you by Ridgeway Legal, South Jersey's champions in business and real estate law. Ridgeway Legal, 4 generations and going strong, located at 15 Shore Road in Linwood, New Jersey, 609-927-1026, and by Blitz's Market, with 2 locations to serve you in Ocean City, New Jersey, at 21st Street and 34th Street and Asbury Avenue. Voted best deli in Ocean City 4 years running. Come on in and try one of their breakfast sandwiches or their delicious hoagies. It's Blitz's Market, only in Ocean City. And by McCann Realtors, family owned since 1939. Experience the McCann difference, located at 4111 Landis Avenue in Seattle City. It's your one-stop realtor for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, and appraisals. 609-236-7422. And by Maynard's Cafe and Starlight Garden, located at 9306 Amherst Avenue in Margate. Family owned and operated since 1966. Open 365 days a year from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Home of the $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with live music Wednesday through Sunday during the summer months. Hey, it's the official post-race after party going to be held tonight at Maynard's. Let's all get down there. All right, when we return, we'll have more pre-race coverage of the 74th annual Margate Memorials live from the beach in Margate, New Jersey on 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here on the beach in Margate, New Jersey for the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races, live from the beach in Margate. Got a great night for racing. Come on down if you're in the area. Ride your bike, get in your car. Right in front of Lucy the Elephant. Having a lot of setup, a lot of preparation for the race going on. We got beach patrols from Cape May Point to Brigantine, all here to compete for a prestigious trophy, John McShane.
The Margate Memorial Trophy, 74 years running. And, guys, while we're waiting for our next guest, I just wanted to bring it up. Maybe he could address it, or maybe Dan Adams later on. Harvey Cedars has been coming down here along with some other patrols from up north, and they've been doing very well this year. I just wonder if the South Jersey Chiefs Association is open to including guys like Harvey Cedars, Ship Bottom, even Lavalette comes down occasionally for some of these races that are open up to other members than the South Jersey Chiefs.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I mean, always adding more crews is a good thing. I think, though, in the one race they had 17 boats this year, and they were so far spread out down the beach, it was like
the AC
trying to
Classic.
keep control of everything.
Well, we have an answer for that, Scott. Drones.
Yeah, there you go.
We do drones, right?
Beautiful.
Or a hot air balloon or something like that.
Exactly. We can go up in a hot air balloon.
Go in a hot air balloon. People are starting to crowd the beach. All the beach patrols are here. The swimmers are in the water practicing. A few crews have already been out. And the races will start promptly at 6:30. Now, the swimmers. Let's look at the swimmers for the race. Jack Fenton from Atlantic City took a couple seconds.
Jack's a good swimmer,
He's a
no
good
doubt.
swimmer.
He's been around. He's experienced.
Of course, Joey Tepper, Joe Rogers been in the mix. Frank Brady from Ocean City is taking a second here, and I think it was the Hoffmans or the AC Classic. So, it's tough. They got their work cut out for them.
That is a good field. Joe is a good swimmer, obviously, as he demonstrated last year and so far this year. But those guys aren't going to let them just take it away. I think they're going to fight them for it, tooth and nail.
Box them in a little bit, What's wrong with that?
You gotta
get in front of them.
Right. You got to take turns taking a run at him. Maybe get him off his pace a little bit. But Joe, the last couple races, Scott, he dictates the pace.
Well, it seems like I heard that a lot of guys are going out hard and what some people don't realize they should. These guys, because they're veterans. The faster you run out there, it doesn't matter because the guy that's at dead last is going to catch up as soon as you hit that water and slows down. He's going to catch up. I think waits till the end, so he's not losing any of his exhilaration going into the water there. He's right with you right away.
He's not wasting energy. I mean, you're talking about a guy who finished second in the junior open water championships in the United States. So. But it should be fun.
We got a couple women in here too.
Yeah,
you got
absolutely.
Nicole Saladino.
A few years back, Maggie
Wiles.
Maggie Wiles is very competitive. She won. Did she win the AC Classic one year?
I think she won the. I think she won the Hoppins.
With the Hoppins, the Hoppins. Yeah.
Second in the AC Classic. I'm going to forget her name. Maybe you guys can remember going back even a few years before that. The young lady from St. Harvard. Still, I think the highest placed female ever in South Jersey. She was third that night.
All right, we got a great race coming up. I think we'll take a break so that we're back here for all the action. I want to remind people that 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Race is brought to you by Ridgeway Legal, South Jersey champions in business and real estate law. Ridgeway Legal, 4 generations and growing strong. Located at 15 Shore Road in Linwood, New Jersey, 609-927-0126. And by Blitz's Market with 2 locations to serve you in Ocean City, New Jersey at 21st Street and 34th Street on Asbury Avenue. Voted best deli in Ocean City 4 years running. Come in and try one of their famous breakfast sandwiches or delicious hoagies. That's Blitz's Market only in Ocean City. And by McCann Realtors, family owned since 1939. Experience the McCann difference. Located at 4111 Landis Avenue in Seattle City, it's your one-stop realtor for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, and appraisals. 609-263-7422. And by Maynard's Cafe and Starlight Garden, located at 9306 Amherst Avenue in Margate. Family owned since 1966, open 365 days a year, 8 a.m. to 4 a.m., home of the $2 Bud Light drafts with live music Wednesday through Sunday during the summer. Hey, it's the official after-race, post-party after-race. We'll all be down there at Maynard's in Margate.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Troiano, who's been there his whole life. His father, Al, and Steve, we love going down there.
Scott, rumor is he's buying. Is that true?
Really? So we're going to split a beer, John, you and I?
Yeah, I think.
All right,
when we return, we'll have the beginning of the 74th annual Margate Memorials live from the beach in Margate on 93.7 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here on the beach in Margate, New Jersey for the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races. Billy Schweim, John McShane, and Scotty McKay bringing you all the action here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. And as we wait for the start of the doubles and the start of this race, let's bring on a former champion and a sponsor of the show, a good-looking guy. It's a shame we're not on TV, but we're on radio. John Ridgway, what's up, John?
Hey, Billy. Thank you for the compliment there. I was always told that I had a face for radio, though.
Beautiful.
Yo, Ridge, I talked to your former partner, John Millar, a.k.a. Higgins, and he says you put all the makeup and everything, you got all ready for this appearance.
I did. You know, I take these things seriously, Billy, as you can tell. I mean, with the headdress and the bustier, obviously is something I want to, put my best foot forward here for the great Margate Memorial. Is one of the preeminent races in this South Jersey series. This has been around for a long time, and it's been here for a really good reason, and there's a lot of great rowers here today. I'm really excited to see it, and how about this flat ocean?
It's flat. Now, as a former rower, now you rowed the bow, is that correct?
Correct. I was bowman in a double boat, yep.
What are you're licking your chops. You wish you were getting ready to row right now, it looks like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on a night like this in particular, this is not what you usually get on a late summer night. Typically you'd see a southeast wind about 10 knots cutting right across. It makes all the calculus different, makes the weight in the boat and everything a little bit different. This is in many ways a much more honest race course, but this is not necessarily what everybody's been training for.
No, and we've seen some races, John McShane, especially in Avalon, about 4 years ago, when Logport captured its first championship. How wild the current was. The wind was blowing out of the south.
That was about a 20-mile south ether that night, John. It was a crazy finish. They had just did a beach pumper. They're in the midst of it. They had a sandbar here. You had a gully here.
Yep.
I mean, it was insane. Boats were being turned around in the surf for no reason whatsoever.
I'll tell you, it is one of the things that makes this entire race series so special and unique is Mother Nature. You know, you can train, you can have the greatest equipment, you can have the most competitive bench on your beach patrol, but at the end of the day, there is a factor in this competition that you can't control, and that's the ocean. And sometimes it shows up like this, which is, you know, very accommodating, and sometimes she's not. And the trick is trying to match your training for all of those conditions, because rowing in a sea like this or an ocean like this takes a totally different race plan than if you're going to row in the traditional southeast slop, as you know John McShane was talking about, to a much larger degree. So it's interesting, Mother Ocean.
Definitely your stroke counts change in something like this.
Absolutely, you row this.
Your length of your strokes are different, so it's a difference. You just called it right there.
Absolutely, you're going to row this course a lot longer, so your stroke's going to be a lot more oar in the water, because you're going to have a lot more stability in the boat that's going to enable you to get length on each stroke, and you're also not going to have to worry about the set in the boat, which is the side-to-side movement, which can throw off the depth of your blade in the water. So there's a lot of technical stuff that these crews train for in what is the prevailing sea that is not going to come into play tonight. And so what happens here is this could be a favorable ocean for a crew which is in great condition, which may not otherwise be as competitive in a rough sea. They may be very competitive tonight.
And we're talking with John Ridgway, former, you won it in 1986 with John Millar. Do you favor this type of condition? I mean, this pretty much, it doesn't neutralize everybody, but like a stronger crew has an advantage, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I do. I think certain crews certainly have an advantage in this, and those are more the sprint crews, the crews that have a lot of raw power that they can apply into the course, into the race, and they don't have to worry about the side-to-side conditions and the trajectory of the boat as compared to the wind. So I do think this is a very a race which is going to favor a cardiovascularly intense crew.
All right, we got about a minute and a half to the start of the
correct.
doubles. About 2 minutes to the start of the doubles. There's a huge crowd down here on the beach. We're approximately, we're almost right in front of Lucy the Elephant. Got a gigantic crowd. 15 beach patrols all competing for these illustrious trophy, John McShane. And I expect a great race in this kind of conditions like Ridge just alluded to.
John set that up really well for us, because there are a number of younger guys, John, tonight. They're on center stage, you know, really some of them for the first time. You have a lot of cagey veterans, we'll call it. John, what do you do on a night like tonight? Do you like to be at the flag first, or you just kind of pace your way out there?
No, on a night like this, my race plan would be to be out early and to try to maintain that. Certainly want to be at the turn first, and you want to hit that turn as quick and as clean as you can, and then get another pop. You want to do another start all over again, right off the flag, because these swells aren't big, but they are consistent, and if you get them midway through the course, you have an advantage.
Yeah, I think coming inside every once in a while, depending upon the time these guys are coming in, some of these guys are going to get some help. It may not be a lot, but it might be enough to really make a difference.
Oh, I think so for sure. I mean, every once in a while, and I haven't been watching the intervals, but you know, you've got a long interval here, and when they do come through, it could be a game changer. All of a sudden, you could see a coup grow from the middle of the pack all the way to the front.
Right, absolutely. Tide is still coming in a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how deep they set those markers.
They got right now. They're waiting to get the north stand set in the right location for the. I guess that's the finish line. Would that be the finish line?
Yeah,
Tommy?
that's where some of the finish line judges are going to sit.
And remember, this beach is not a straight line. This isn't like a complete straight line to the road. The beach goes on an angle, so you have to set the flags to that angle, and you have to set your finish line to that angle. So it's, you know, from the north end to the south end, everybody's rowing the same amount of distance.
Yeah, Scotty, it's interesting you say that, because I know there's a ton of work that goes in on the race crew side to get this starting line straight as well as the flag straight. But as we talked about, Mother Ocean is not always forgiving. It's hard. It's a dynamic force out there. And I know as a competitor, we always rely on you guys doing as good a job as you always have done with this. But we do recognize it is hard, and it is not an exact science.
No.
And so,
well, we always put your flag in short.
That's what we always wanted you for.
The race is just taking off. Brigantine's off to a good start. All right. Looks like we're at the north end of this race course, and we got a great vantage point. Looks like I think Upper Township is really off to a good start. We got a Longport, of course, is out. Ventnor City looks like it's in good shape. Daru and Atlantic City,
Ventnor City, Ocean City down the other end, Avalon, all together, all 4 in a row. All look like they got out in pretty good shape.
Just saw a big swell come on this whole northern section of the course here. About 4 crews had to swell hop, and the crews to the south did not have to do that. You'll see in the middle section here, particularly Margate, they're jumping out. You'll see they're starting to lengthen out now, too, whereas some of the other crews are still kind of keeping their strokes short and fast.
This is a really good start for most of the crews. Stone Harbor kind of got hit with
Stone Harbor got a little tangled up.
Other than that, now you're going to start to see the experience, right, Ridge?
I think that's exactly right, Billy, because right now these crews are starting to fatigue, but they know they've got to maintain a good steady pace from here all the way through to the doubles flag. So the next big marker they're going to see is these single flags, which are coming into their view. The bowmen are steering. They're using those singles flags as markers, and they're also using these land-based flags, which you see up and down the course here. You see a pink one, you see a blue one. Each team has their own, and what they're attempting to do is to communicate with the crews out on the ocean to help them understand where their course is in relation to the flag they have to turn.
I think Longport really is taking a lead now.
It looks,
John,
Longport,
you got the binocs, you can tell me.
Longport, Margate looks like they're out pretty good. I tell you what, right now Graves and Gowdy are rowing really smooth.
And this might be
really
a swan
smooth
song.
together.
This might be a swan song for Graves and Gowdy. They've been rowing together for such a long time. Rumor going around that this could be it for them.
Is that right? Well, we'd hate to see that.
Happens.
They've been a dominating crew.
I'll tell you, they are looking long and strong out there, certainly rowing amongst the lower ratings of any of the crews out there. So fortunate, and luck does sometimes have a role here. They did not catch that northern set, and I think that gave them a starting advantage.
Yeah, they got through that in pretty good shape,
John Ridgway, I want to thank you so much for coming up and giving us your expertise. We really appreciate you sponsoring the broadcast at Ridgway Legal, and thanks for coming up, man.
Thanks a lot, Billy. Good luck to all the racers out there today.
All
Thanks,
right,
John.
Thanks, 97. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Let's get this in. 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th Annual Margate Memorial Races is brought to you by Ridgway Legal, South Jersey champions in business and real estate law. Ridgway Legal, 4 generations and going strong. Located at 15 Shore Road in Linwood, New Jersey, 609-927-0126. And by Blitz's Market, with 2 locations to serve you in Ocean City, New Jersey, at 21st Street and 34th Street on Asbury Avenue. Voted best deli in Ocean City 4 years running. Come on in and try one of their famous breakfast sandwiches or delicious hoagies. That's Blitz's Market, only in Ocean City. And by McCann Realtors, family owned since 1939. Experience the McCann difference. Located at 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City, it's your one-stop realtor for sales, rentals, investment, mortgage lending, and appraisal. 609-263-7422. And by Maynard's Cafe and Starlight Garden, located at 9306 Amherst Avenue in Margate. Family owned since 1966. Home of the $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with live music Wednesday through Sunday during the summer months. It's the official post-race after party at Maynard's. All right, when we return, we'll have the finish of the doubles. You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the Margate Memorials on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, welcome back to the beach here in Margate, New Jersey for the 74th Annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races. Live on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. And we're halfway through the race. The doubles, the crews are on their way back. But at the flag, Margate is turned first at the flag, followed by Cape May, Sea Isle City, AC, and Longport. So it's a pretty competitive race right now. Graves and Gowdy could be their swan song, Scooter, but they still got a lot of legs left.
I know they're going to go for it, that's for sure. If this is their last race, they're definitely going to go for it. So they should be a crew to watch out for.
Hey, John Nees and Jake Smith from Cape May, they turned second, and they're a strong crew, John McShane.
Yeah, remember they were second to Jerseys last year, so they've got some experience, and certainly they're putting on a good race right now.
This race, I would say, is it looks like it's going to be about a 14 and 15 minute race, something like that, Scott.
Yeah, I would think that was probably 7.5 minutes to the flag?
Yeah, it's the prescribed is 14 to 16 minutes.
right.
I think in conditions like tonight, we should be right around there.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe a little faster, maybe.
yeah,
They're not getting pushed around a lot.
nah, they're not. I mean, everybody seemed to row pretty straight on the way out, and they seem to be holding that line on the way in.
John and Scott, my co-hosts here today, you guys are former lieutenants on the Ocean City Beach Patrol. You guys set the flags many times. How hard is it to set the flags and keep them straight, Scooter?
It'd certainly be a lot easier on a night like tonight, that's for sure.
Right.
Because it's amazing. You know, you have a big 5-gallon bucket concrete weight that they make. It's got a rebar in it. You have a hook to it. I mean, you know how many times guys threw the weight over and I go, "Did you hook the flag to it?" And they go, "Oops." So that's one lost weight down the ocean. But what happens is when you let that rope out, that's from the bottom. You know, they're not all the right distances. So the flags are flying back and forth in the waves, going out, coming in, going out. So it's a tough job, but you try to do the best for these guys because they're working their tails off.
All right, looks like Margate in the green boat. That's the reason we can decipher. It looks like that green boat's out in front.
It does. Cape May is not that far behind, and you got a couple. I think Sea Isle still hanging tough in the middle of the race course here.
Margate's in first place right now. Sea Isle Longport. Sea Isle City having a nice showing today. Sea Isle City with
Cape
Ray
May's fourth.
Scampancio and Danny Rogers coming into the flag.
You can see Longport has picked up 2 spots already since the turn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're moving pretty good.
And
Probably,
this is where experience comes in, Scooter.
Yeah.
Probably about 10 boats from hitting the singles flags right now.
We're on the beach here in Margate, right in front of Lucy the Elephant. We're watching the doubles cruise approach. There's a huge crowd on hand. There's a bigger after party at Maynard's tonight. You got to get down there for that. And we're waiting to see. Looks like we have Margate that's really pulled ahead, John McShane. Is that you got the goggles on?
Yep, they're looking strong. Sea Isle is not out of it by any stretch. Longport is a little back. And
a couple of boats to the north that look, it's hard to tell. You know, but it looks Margate's definitely out in front.
We got Sea Isle, Cape May in the center there, Scott. They're racing each other, obviously.
All right, we got I'll tell you what, it's humid here too, so you know these guys are sucking
Pumping.
some wind. They're pumping hard, man. You know, you got to keep.
Gowdy and Graves still look nice and long.
Yeah, they are.
They look nice and long. They're laying it out. Longport.
I think they're selling out, John McShane. They don't want to hear anything about they're going to be retiring, but it looks like it's Longport and Margate.
Longport is
Margate has a 1-length lead, but I'll
making
tell
its
you what,
move.
this is where they're going to make the move right now.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, Scott, when they come here in the center. You've got some swell, just a little bit.
Margate's not going to get anything where they're
No,
at.
they're not.
And we're north of where all the guys are coming in, but it looks like Margate right now is really – those guys are pumping. They're working hard, John.
There's a boat coming from the south here, really moving.
That's Longport.
That's Longport.
Look at that. They're going to catch a swell.
Almost dead even.
Yeah.
Almost dead even. They've got Margate and Longport looks like they've got.
Longport's got a jump
I don't
here.
know, man. This is going to be a tough call.
Margate's got a little bit of they're getting a little help right here.
Here we go. That looks like Margate's going to catch a swell. Looks like Graves and Gowdy are just pumping it out. They're going to wave. They're riding straight. You can hear the crowd.
Right to the beach.
Look at this finish.
Right to the beach.
That's a number one for Graves and Gowdy.
Wow.
What a showing. Now for number 2, looks like Longport, Sea Isle, but looks like Sea Isle.
Look at the boat, the blue boat coming down the other south end there. Big
Atlantic
time.
City.
Longport, Atlantic City
with a big wave
Atlantic
there.
City and Sea Isle looks like they could be 3 and 4.
Cape May.
Wow, Cape May looks like they got a 5. What a competitive race tonight.
Avalon way down
Outstanding. And did you see how Graves and Gowdy kept that boat straight? That's called experience, John McShane.
That was set up nicely for them. They were already pulling away a little bit, but Longport was hot on their trail.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I call it you're in a position to win. Okay? You get that swell. You've already got a nice lead. It's got to be a great relief to see that thing coming up behind you, knowing you're going to get some help.
So in the beginning of the race, K-May was out first, Ventnor, AC, and Margate. And then you can see, as you look at it, guys, Margate got to the flag first, and then they just poured it on from there. The time, I don't know if we have the exact time, but it looks like it was about a 14-minute race. And we have a couple boats coming in now. Looks like looks like Wildwood and Stone Harbor are finishing out. And I'll tell you what, boy, what a competitive race that was, John McShane.
That was an amazing finish. Obviously, Graves and Gowdy are not quite ready to hang it up. They still got next Friday night.
What was all these rumors about that the guys are going to hang it up after that?
Didn't you start those rumors?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Billy started it.
Pre-race, you told him he was washed up.
Scooter, I didn't tell him he's washed up.
You're like he didn't punch it.
I talked to Gowdy, and I spoke to Graves earlier in the week, and they were like, they didn't seem like they were 100%. I don't know.
They were relaxed. They're calm. They're
Is that what it
veterans.
was?
They knew what they were going to do.
This is their water. This is their home turf.
This is their home turf.
You know, they know this course as well as anybody, obviously. And tonight it paid off for them.
We're here live on the beach in Margate, New Jersey for the 2019 Margate Memorials. We just had a really good finish between Margate and Longport. Those guys, look, those crews, they know each other well, John. They've been battling 1, 2, and 3 for the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, that was going to be a close finish right up till either way. Margate got the swell. Okay, so now we go into the swim. All right, Margate, they can stay in contention. Mr. Rogers from Margate's got to pull a swim out like he did last year. Joe Rogers, he's a good swimmer. He's an accomplished swimmer. Okay, he gets a first or a second. Margate Longport going into the singles for a shootout.
Right. You never know, though. Weird things happen. They don't score in these races, and all of a sudden it changes the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
Good start for Margate right off the bat. They've always done well in their own race, that's for sure. So it's the swim's going to be really important now.
All right, so Scooter, let's look at the swim. Let's set the swim. Jack Fenton from Atlantic City, Wilk Lukens, Brandon Finnegan from Brigantine, Kate Luft from Cape May, Dan Moses from Cape May Point, Joe Tepper from Longport, of course, he's a perennial favorite, Joe Rogers, and from Margate, North Wildwood is Luke Snyder, John. Ocean City is Frank Brady. He had a good showing this year. He's been rather competitive.
He can certainly score points, no doubt about it.
CL City is Ryan Pedrick, and Stone Harbor, Nicole Saldino. She got a 6th in the Dutch Hopkins, so she had a good showing. TJ Gibbon from Ventnor, Brandon Lewis from Wild, of course, John Burkett. He's the one you want to look for.
Absolutely. He was having a couple years back. He was doing great. Maybe fell off a little bit last year. I don't really quite remember. He's back this year. He's already won some races, so we'll certainly keep an eye on him as well. We're
gonna try to get Graves and Gowdy up here. These guys are. They're just bulldogs, Scooter. These guys, how many years have they? We'll have to ask them, but I should have the statistics. But
I had it was like, well, I was looking at the South jerseys last night a little bit. They were like 9.
Well, Chuck
9 times.
Chuck won 3 jerseys as an Atlantic City guard before he came over to Margate because he's with the Atlantic City Fire Department.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Like you said, I didn't think Margate was good at any kind of a wave. So, but they ended up doing it.
All right, guess what? Let's get Chris Graves in here. We got one of the winners up here. Chris Graves, come on in. Well, what was this we're hearing about that this could be your swan song? Not after that performance. You just won the doubles, you and your buddy Gowdy.
I told John Ridgway it's a very Brett Favre-esque retirement. It's week to week.
So talk to us, Chris. The conditions. I mean, are these your conditions to row in?
You know what? These conditions are everybody's to rowing because there's nothing going on. There's no chop, there's no current, there's no wind. So it's just a straight pull.
Chris, you caught a nice wave coming in, though. I mean, even though it was calm, that wave propelled you guys because, you're competitive. You guys, McGrath and Duffy, you guys have been neck and neck for how many years? That wave propelled you right through that, through the surf.
We had a rough start, and they were ahead. They were out, but we were just like, it's our first race back this year. Just trust the process. It's Sam Hankey, right?
We'll just sit up,
drive the legs, and breathe. You got 13 minutes to make it up, and it's ocean racing. We got lucky. They could have got a wave too. We were neck and neck the whole way.
We were watching. You guys all laying back the whole time, strong, nice and smooth.
Yeah.
It just your stroke never seemed to waver. Obviously, you have a lot of confidence in what you're doing. You were behind a little bit, but you pulled it out by the singles flags. Maybe a length, maybe 2 lengths.
It was tough to tell.
Yeah,
I look over and you can't tell.
They were closing.
They were fifth.
But,
flag.
you know, you guys, I mean, as you said, trust the process. There was no panic there at all.
Well, when I rode in the bow, I was light, and we had a small stern guy. So we had to roll a really high rate.
Right.
With Chuck's a big dude. We just get the catch in, drive the legs, and let the boat do its work on the recovery, and just get a nice, smooth recovery and let the boat run underneath of us. And you know what? You waste a lot less energy doing that. It's more efficient.
Absolutely.
And it worked for us.
Yeah.
Chris, is there a lot of talking going on out there between you guys? A lot of communication?
No.
No.
I don't think we said a word all race.
You guys had a good course out, pretty much right on the flag.
Sounds like Scooter on a date with his wife.
Chuck nailed the rate. He nailed the course. All I said was when we hit the singles flag, I said, sit up, drive the legs, lay back. We're almost there. Because, that hurt. These heavy, humid nights with no wind or anything, they hurt.
All right, we got a minute till the swim. A little less than all the swimmers are lined up right in front of us. You guys are set up really good, Chris. Congratulations on a great race.
Let's go, Joey Rogers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's go, Joey Rogers.
Thanks, guys.
Good job.
Nice going.
All right, there's Chris Graves, and we're getting ready. We're getting ready for the start of the singles, and then we'll take a top of the hour identification. There go the single swimmers.
They're
of
off,
course,
man.
Joey Tepper. I think he
Grab his suit. Grab his suit. Come on. Who's going to be the Lee Harvey Oswald?
Usually he wears a pink, red hat or a red swim cap.
Oh, there's a red one right there.
That's not him.
He's got long arms.
Now, it is difficult to call this race because we can't really see on their arms, where the swimmers are from because of our vantage point. But they're all bunched up right now. And the flag, how far would you say the flag is, John?
Yeah.
Okay, he's wearing black tonight, and he looks like
it's a 12 to 14 minute swim.
Oh, the
roughly
swimmers going
a mile.
really nice sized wave just came in. The swimmers just motored right through that. And it's calm conditions. The water temperature today, Scooter, was about 71. Not
Beautiful
too bad.
temperature. No, it'll keep your body right where you want it to be. These guys are working. There's some pushing and grabbing going on in there, trust me.
There are. That's close contact right there, no doubt about it. Hey, while we're talking about, you run into people. Guy I grew up with back up at home, Eddie Brown. Eddie swam from Margate back in the early 70s. Tremendous swimmer. I asked him, I said, we asked Ridgway couldn't wait to get out there tonight. I said, Ed, don't you wish you were out there again? He says, absolutely not. I have no desire to do that again whatsoever.
Right.
Being honest.
What's wrong with
Beautiful night here. There has to be at least, I want to say there's like 5,000 to 6,000 people on the Margate Beach tonight. What a gorgeous night after a cloudy day. What a gorgeous night for racing. The sun started to come through. We're right here in front of Lucy the Elephant, and we are in the middle of the 74th annual Margate Memorial lifeguard races from the beach in Margate, John.
And we're about halfway to the swim flag, you guys.
Halfway,
yeah. They're probably maybe 150 meters, 175 meters short of the singles flags right now.
Yeah, there's some face kicking going on there. It's pretty good.
That's a pretty tightly bunched group of swimmers
Joey's
right there.
got some big feet too, so you don't want those in your face.
Let's talk about, Scooter. You were a swimmer, right?
Swam growing up when I was young. Became a diver.
You don't just jump in the ocean and swim like this. These guys train. And you know Brian Booth. His son was a swimmer. He trained with Joey Tepper.
Brian's a great coach.
Right, he's a great swim coach. He's won swim championships.
Well, it's funny when I went to LaSalle. That's the reason I came to work on the beach patrol in Ocean City, because there was 3 guys on the team that were already lifeguards there. But then another couple guys said that I was in the same grade, but they said they want to go down and take the test. So they said, come on, why don't you come down and take this? I said, guys, I haven't swam in like 6 years competitively. They go, you're in the water every day. I said, yeah, I dive into the water, I swim to the edge 10 feet. If the test is 10 feet, I'll be in great shape. But it's tough swimming in the ocean. It's a lot different. It was a lot colder when we took the test.
All right, let's bring in the muscle, I guess, with the doubles crew for the Margate doubles crew. Chuck Gowdy and Chuck, congratulations.
Thanks,
Chuck
Billy.
First. Now, what were you telling me to think
up
this
and
might be
down,
up
who
and down, you know what
knows?
you're going to do.
50-50.
Right, it looks like you're going to be rolling for another couple of years.
I think for the last couple of years it's been just day to day, week to week, season to season kind of thing, and that's I want to stick with that right now. I'm still in love with doing this. Rowing in Margate is great. The city's been great to me. Chief Smallwood's been great to me. This is just, it's been a real blessing being able to do this.
You know, Chuck, we were talking to Chris and we're talking about the conditions. There's not much, the conditions aren't anything to speak of. It's flat pretty much. There's no wind, there's no current.
Nah,
this is anybody's race tonight, right?
It takes all the thinking out of it. It's just, pull, go straight, turn the flag, get in. There's really no dealing with, like a sideways chop, kind of shifting your weight, none of that stuff. This was just put the oars in the water, make it feel easy, row smooth, and beat everyone else out there.
You did feel good when you saw that little swell coming up on your start.
Oh, you kidding me? I saw that thing at the singles flag. And I'm telling them, like, if I miss this, because Longport was right there with us. I don't know what it looked like for you guys, but
they came out of nowhere.
We were watching the guys in the middle. You guys had a commanding lead on those guys, and Scotty and I were looking at it like, they're going to get some help. Right now.
I was looking at Longport. I'm trying to stay in the boat and stay with Chris and just worry about us, but knowing those guys down there, those guys are in phenomenal shape, and they're hitting it on all cylinders.
They were coming. They were coming.
Yeah,
really
so I knew, we were definitely taking any help we can get right there at the end
absolutely.
of the race.
Now, Chuck, normally you double up and row singles. Not the case tonight.
Nah, I just don't think I have it anymore. Just to be
well,
quite honest, last year it hurt. And we got some young talent out there. It's got to be a change of the guard. I'm 36, Chris is 37, we know we're at the downside of our careers here. So, we really want to start getting the young guys up there. We got, more than capable guys go out there and row. So, just get them racing and, it's just great for Margate all the way around.
All right,
we just got to see a singles guy going out for his warm-up. And he got hit by a wave and he got thrown out of the boat.
It wasn't a Margate guy, right?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it
Might
was.
have been
So this is obviously next week. Next week is the granddaddy of them all, the South Jersey Championships. Were you worried, like, in the beginning of the year during the Dutch Hoffmans and during the AC Classic that you weren't where you wanted to be? Or
well, worried. I don't know if we were worried or not. We knew, that we were in a rebuilding year, kind of, with that, Longport's just, like you said, hitting on all cylinders, and we knew we got to put our best team out there to even compete with those guys. It's gonna take all the stars aligning.
It sure will. All right,
okay,
swimmers. What do we got? We got a report, John?
Yeah, we got a report in at the flag. Longport first, Margate second, Wildwood third, AC, and who's that last guy? Brigantine. Okay, Brigantine.
So obviously Joey Tepper does not feel any pressure. This kid's amazing. He doesn't feel any pressure at all. He's got ice running through his veins.
Well, it's going to set up an interesting finish if this holds, you guys, because it'll be a tie between Longport and Margate going into the singles. Longport, seasoned veteran Mike McGrath, as Chuck just alluded to, they got some young guys coming up. We're going to see how he can do tonight.
Beautiful sunshine here. The sun's breaking through the clouds. The swimmers are on their way. This is Billy Schweim, Scott McKay, John McShane covering the Margate Memorial boat races. In Margate, we're going to go to take a station identification break here at the top of the hour, and we'll be back for the conclusion of the swim here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the 76ers.
Joella B crashes in with a slam.
WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
Here on the beach in Margate, New Jersey for the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races. We're right in front of Lucy the Elephant. We got 15 beach patrols from Cape May Point to Brigantine competing for this prestigious trophy, the Margate Memorials. There is a huge crowd on hand here. I got to say 6,000 strong now. I
got to tell you, this crowd's still growing, you guys. People are still coming down here.
So if you're in the area,
obviously a lot of people are tuned into 97.3.
But you know what? This is a slice of South Jersey. This is what we do down here in the summer.
This is what they do in the summertime. They go see lifeguard races.
They go see the lifeguard races.
And then they go to Maynard's.
Looks like Joey Tepper's way out in front.
He's out by himself.
What else is new?
There's about three, 4 guys behind him. And there's a couple off to the right-hand side. So right now it's just a matter of who's going to get second, third, fourth, and fifth.
I don't remember, John. You've been around a lot longer than I have. So have you, Scotty McKay.
No, I'm not that much older than you.
As far as your time on the Ocean City Beach Patrol, but can you remember a time where a swimmer's been this dominant? Now, Sid Cassidy was dominant, but
yeah.
not right away and for as long.
No.
Right?
Well,
Am I right about that?
He was 76 and 77. Sid won the South Jerseys. But I don't know anybody that's been that dominant there. Mike Toy was obviously dominant for a while.
Mike, Jim Whalen, going back a few years. Well, look, come on. Ocean City had Dick Thieler, who won 7 or 8 years in a row.
Right.
And the one year Captain Lafferty, Scott, the story goes, Thieler was done with swim. He didn't want to do it anymore. Cap Lafferty went down like the day before the Jersey and was like begging him, you got to swim, you got to swim. He said, I'm not in shape. He won anyway.
Nice.
All right, we're here as we await the swimmers to come in. Look, they were all bunched together going out. Look how spread apart they are coming in, John McShane.
Yeah, well, you got a nice race here, I think.
Joey Tepper's
right
way
behind
out front.
Joe.
Is he amazing?
You've got these 4 right here in this pack. They're all going to be on top of one another when they get into that surf line.
You know, usually you got Jack Fenton.
Because right now they're just dragging on this guy in the yellow cap. See him?
Frank Brady.
Yeah.
They're all in a line.
AC's in the mix. Jack Fenton. He's usually one of the guys that runs a close second. But they're really spread out right now. I got to say, Tepper is probably, about 30, 45 seconds ahead of everybody else, Scooter?
Probably. I thought he had a black cap on.
No, I thought he did
red.
too.
All right.
Somebody said he had a black cap.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a red cap going in here, and his stroke count is still way up there.
John.
He's probably 80 strokes a minute.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. You gotta
he doesn't even breathe when he comes out.
You have to be here to appreciate this. And we're going to get him up here. He's so soft-spoken, and he doesn't really have that killer instinct demeanor, does he?
No.
Hey, this is
look. He can literally get out of the ocean, and he's literally walking up.
This is going to be tight. Look at this pack coming in. You've got 4, maybe 5 guys.
So the race here is for second.
The race is
for second.
Second, third, and fourth right now.
Because Margate, let's face it. So Longport gets a 1 in the swim. Now we need to see who is coming in second, because that's really going to determine, John McShane,
right,
how this race is going to set up. Especially since Longport got a second and they got a first, so they're sitting pretty right now.
They're in great shape, and you've got Mike McGrath in the bullpen. So this is a real dogfight, you guys. Yellow cap stood up.
There's going to be a race right here at the end.
If we can find out who's the yellow, look at his arm, see where he's from. Can you see there, John, with your binocs? Looks like Wildwood Crest just got a second.
Crest.
Brigantine's third.
Wildwood Crest. And that's
Wildwood fourth.
John Perquette with a second place finish in the swim. Who got third?
Brigantine.
Frank
Brady.
Frank Brady gets a fifth. And there's still some swimmers out there.
Listen, I'm turning the flag right about now. So I was swimming.
Jack Fenton from AC Wildwood got second. And that's John Perquette.
Crest got second.
Third.
Beautiful night here in Margate, New Jersey. Big crowd on hand. Come on down if you're in the area. Ride your bike if you're close. Come on down. We're in front of Lucy and Maynard's. Maynard's in Margate. Of course, the after party tonight, John, is going to be at Maynard's. We're in front of Lucy. The party's at Maynard's tonight. Make sure we get down there.
Absolutely. So Margate was in a good position at the flag on the way out, but
the first one coming in was finished.
They're coming in one by one.
This
we got
is
about
towards the end.
2 swimmers left in the water.
The 3 left.
They'll as soon as the ocean is clear of swimmers, they'll get the singles boats on the line and get ready for the start of the singles. And we'll try to get the official results for the swim momentarily.
All right, all the swimmers are out of the water and making their way to the finish line. That was a great race. Joey Tepper, man.
I can't believe it how strong he is.
Let's see if we get Joey Tepper down here.
It's so hard not to describe him, but he's about 6'2", and he's maybe so. When he came out of the water, he was 118 pounds. I mean,
if that.
Who got third in the doubles? Seal?
Seal City's third in the doubles.
And that's unofficial, of course.
Yes, that is
we don't
unofficial.
Really know.
So,
Longport, AC Longport get a fifth? No, Longport got a second.
Longport got second.
Yeah,
they were fifth at the.
Yeah.
Longport's sitting pretty right now, guys.
Yep. And they got a pretty good singles rower, so they're in good shape. But where did in the swim? Where did Margate come in?
Let's see if I can find that out, Scott.
Yeah. That's going to be the key. So, but the crowd is just still getting bigger. People are still coming down.
It's amazing.
It really is.
Now, this race started in 1946, and it's been going strong for all these years.
The end of World War II.
End of World War II.
Yeah.
So, this is a prestigious race. Of course, a lot of the locals are down here, but, you don't have to be a local to come down and appreciate this race.
Right. I wonder if any of the guys.
Let's face it, Scooter, what we talk about on the show on Saturdays, the Phillies and the Eagles just getting started. You want to see a great race and great competition. Yeah. You come down to you're here, you come down to the beach.
This is like any other sport. It really is. Because you got the same competitions. A lot of guys, every time back to back, these guys are going against each other hard. They know each other. And it's amazing. I mean, those guys didn't really talk about, they pulled maybe one or two quick strokes to get on that wave. And the boat stayed straight the whole time.
Right.
They got on it right. I used to always pull an extra right and then know where to put the oar. But they pulled it straight.
They stayed in there.
They stayed in the boat, just wrapped all the way to the beach.
That was a great finish. And, Scott, on stuff like that, when you look back, probably not big enough to do anything too crazy on there. Just stay in your seat, steer from the back.
All right, here we go. We're going to talk to the man himself. He's not even breathing hard. Doesn't even look like he had it. He did it. He looked like he was just laying on the beach.
I know.
He looked like he was just getting a suntan. Bring up the winner of the Margate Memorial, the 74th annual. The winner of the swim, Joey Tepper. And Joey, congratulations on another victory. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Simply amazing. On the way out, you were on the outside, or did you? Where were you positioned on the way out, Joe?
I was a bit north of everyone.
Okay.
Not too far. I did actually, as opposed to Wildwoods, where I really put space between myself and others, I did kind of swim like right next to everybody this time for the first few strokes, and then I started to pull out.
Joey, at such a young age, you're going to be a senior in high school, and you're already dominating these races. I mean, has it sunk into you that of the success that you've been having? I mean, does it even resonate with you?
I mean, yeah, it does.
Yeah, he looks like he's
right.
He looks like nonchalant, like I just won the Margates.
Joe, recently you finished second, I believe, at the Junior Nationals outdoor.
Yeah.
What do you like better? You like pool swimming or like the open water better?
Definitely open water.
Definitely open water. Do you translate better to the open water rather than the pool?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about open water, but I just do so much better compared to other people nationally in open water versus in the pool. You
seem to have a knack for, as Billy was saying, you stay away from people for the most part. You set your course. You're pretty much dictating the pace to these guys. They have no other choice but to try and stay with you and make something happen. But as we have observed, it's very difficult to stay with you, obviously. Don't get a big head or anything. But it's interesting because over the years, we've seen guys who are literally much better swimmers in the open water than they are in a swimming pool. They're good at a swimming pool. They're very good, excellent in some cases. But it seems when they hit the open water, as in your case, lights out. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what are your plans? You're going to be a senior this year?
Yeah, I'm going to be a senior. I'm looking at some colleges.
Are they, more importantly, how many of them are looking at you? You get a lot of letters, phone calls?
I did, but I'm really looking for a program that cares about open water as much as I do.
Okay.
And so, that's kind of been leading the way on my search.
Is there a college that's standing out for you right now?
There is, but I don't really want to say which one.
Okay. All right, we understand.
And we're getting ready for the...
Probably violate some kind of rules.
Stay with us, Joey. We're getting ready for the start of the singles, which is the last race of the evening. And, we don't know unofficially who's in first, but I would say Longport right now is up there with a first and a second. And Margate's in the mix too, John?
Longport unofficially has 9. Margate did not score in the swim, so they're still standing with their 5. You've got some other teams that are sort of in the mix, but no one has really scored strongly in the first 2 events so far to probably make a difference.
All right, so we're waiting for the start of the singles, and Joey, have you, in all the races that I've seen you race so far, have you really had? I mean, you won by such a large margin. Have you really had to push yourself? I mean, you haven't been in a dogfight yet?
Yeah, I haven't had to push myself, but I do push myself in each of these, just because it's really good training for other things, and I find personally that when I'm training on my own, it's very hard for me to All right,
hold on. There goes the flag, and the singles is off here in the 74th Annual Margate Memorials as we look to the north, and we see Ventnor getting off. David Funk, of course, is a seasoned veteran in rowing. Avalon with Eric Wolf far north, far south of us. It looks like he got off to a great start. Brigantine, Ron D. Felice, excellent start for him. And, of course, everybody is in the mix right now, John, looks like. David Funk.
Yep, the southern end seems to be out a little bit.
And we want to thank Joey. We want to thank Joey Tepper. He just got off the stage. We want to thank Joey Tepper. John, what an incredible
swimmer.
This kid's unbelievable.
He's a good swimmer.
Scooter, do you see anybody going to beat him anytime soon?
I wanted to ask him if there was any tugging and holding and going grabbing out there, but I guess I don't see anybody beating him.
All right, the single flags are short. How far would you say, Scooter?
500, maybe 500 out. It's a 4 to 6 minute row. I mean, it's quick. It's a sprint.
You know what that means? We have time for a commercial.
Wow.
All right, so the 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th Annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races is brought to you by Ridgeway Legal, South Jersey's champion in business and real estate law. Ridgeway Legal, 4 generations and going strong. Located at 15 Shore Road in Linwood, New Jersey. 609-927-0126. And by Blitz's Market. That's our favorite spot right there, Scooter.
Every Saturday morning.
Blitz's Market, 2 locations in Ocean City to serve you, 21st Street and 34th Street on Asbury Avenue. Voted best deli in Ocean City 4 years running. Come on in and try one of their famous breakfast sandwiches or delicious hoagies. It's Blitz's Market, only in Ocean City. And by the McCann Realtors, family owned since 1939. Experience the McCann difference. Located at 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City, New Jersey. It's your one-stop realtor for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, and appraisals. 609-263-7422. All right, when we return, we'll have the culmination of the race. You're listening on 97.3 ESPN and 97.3 ESPN mobile app. We just had a great finish for the singles. Ron D. Felice from Brigantine came in first. I believe Stone Harbor came in second. Stone Harbor, that would be Dennis Eckley came in second, and I think the third
might have been Margate.
What did I yell?
And here comes Wildwood in. It's a nice wave. But how about that, Scooter? That was a Ron D. Felice. Look, Ron D. Felice has been in the mix for some time.
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran. He's cagey, man.
Yeah, he's there.
And how about Dennis Eckley from Stone Harbor?
We'll have to get him up here.
What a nice performance.
Yeah, nice trophy to take home.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, that was some race. Now
race.
We're gonna have to wait to see who actually wins this, because that kind of threw a monkey wrench into things. Did Margate?
Brigantine was third, unofficially third in the swim. So
what did Margate do in the singles here?
Did not score, I don't believe.
In the swim.
That could hurt him.
Did not score in the swim.
Oh. How about the Margate?
I don't think he scored in the singles either. We'll have to wait and see. But Brigantine potentially is sitting there with 8 points, 3 from the swim and 5 from the singles. Going in, Longport already had their 9.
Right.
So it's a matter of can they, if any points in the doubles, then the tiebreaker comes into play. So.
And we are here live on the beach in Margate for the Margate Memorials. The conclusion, we kind of timed it a little bit bad, Scooter, there.
Wow.
But, that's the thing with live racing, John.
Well, you know what? The conditions were good.
I didn't think they'd be in that quick.
Not a lot of time in between races because they were able to set the boats. And this time of year, you want to get these races in. You run out of daylight fairly quickly. So Margate has always, kept the event going.
Like to see if we can get Ron DeFelice to come up to the stand. That would be nice if we could do Ron DeFelice, one for Brigantine. And he's, like I said, Scooter, he's been in the mix for some time.
Yeah, I mean, he rode a great race, straight race. That's the key for some of these guys. Some of these guys are finishing a lot out from where they were.
He looked like he was following a line.
Yeah, he was like he was on a rope, And he stayed with it all along, and he just he kind of fell off a wave here around front.
Nice recovery.
But he got right back on it.
Nice recovery, yeah.
Yeah, so.
No, but Scott, right about the time he's falling off, no one else had anything going for them either. They were all they all still had the row.
It's tough from our vantage point too, being up here on the beach to see all the angles going down. But he's definitely the winner, no doubt about it. That puts a tight race there.
All right, so let's get Ronnie DeFelice from Brigantine up here, and I'll tell you what. Ron DeFelice, he's an experienced rower. He's been around the scene for a few years, and congratulations on winning the Margates, man. Big win for you, Ron.
It is a big win. I felt close last week in Wildwood when I took second, but to pull it out here in front of my home crowd felt great, So
you've been sniffing around. You've been getting a couple seconds, thirds.
Yeah.
Some of the conditions are a little bit more rough. Why did you do so well today? I mean,
I'm a little bit more of a technical rower, so I think in the flat water I can really get the moving well, get some good strokes in. So.
What a great night for racing.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the run up to the South Jerseys.
Yeah.
You got to feel good about yourself.
I feel great. It's a lot of pressure now going into the jerseys, but I feel really good to take a win in one of the big three.
And you got second, I think, last week, right?
Last week in Wildwood.
You
took
second in last week.
East. Yeah,
great
competitor.
That was a close race.
Yeah, I think we wound up on the same wave, and he was able to pull it out a little bit ahead of me. So.
Ron, last week, I believe in the Dutch Hopkins. The singles rowers all collided with each other.
They did, yeah. They looked like that out there.
I thought the lanes were kind of close today.
They were here. They did. Margate does a nice job. Obviously, they're very well versed. This isn't anything new for them. So they put on a great event. Happy to be here. Really happy to win.
Ron, big crowd tonight to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what the summer's all about here in South Jersey.
In the wintertime when it's cold, this is what I'm thinking about. So.
It keeps you that'll keep you going in the wintertime,
100%,
right?
Absolutely.
So that leads me to my next question then. Do you work out all year long in preparation?
I try to,
for
yeah.
this?
Yeah, I try. I do CrossFit in the wintertime. Helps keep me in shape so I can come out here and do this.
So since you're a technical rower, are you looking for the same kind of surf next week?
I wouldn't say no to this. No,
right.
He's an honest guy too.
Yeah, right. All the competitors are here are so great. Really, any day it's anyone's race.
Absolutely.
So I was just able
the
to pull
surf
it out.
can really make a difference with a lot of different guys.
It does.
Yeah. Thought you were going to get that swell there for a little bit. Kind of left you there, but you made a nice recovery.
Yeah.
From our vantage point, we said nobody down south was really making a move on you.
Yeah, it didn't look
so
like it.
you had enough time to recover, and you pulled it out very well.
I got lucky.
You know what's amazing too, Ron? I mean, Stone Harbor gets a second.
Did they? Did they pull it out? Yeah.
They came in right next to
you.
First time I was just talking to him. He's a great guy, great competitor. I'm glad he.
Dennis Ecke from.
We're going to try to get him up here.
We'll try to get him up here, but Ron, all the work that you put into this.
Yeah.
And you're up against some really tough competitors.
Oh, absolutely.
Chuck Gowdy, Vince Grenice, all these guys. What's it mean for you to win this race today?
I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot. Dave Funk was my crew coach in high school. He's the one that got me onto the beach patrol and he got me rowing. So it feels good to win. So real good.
Congratulations, Ron. Thanks a lot, man.
It.
Really appreciate it. We'll see you next week at the South Jersey.
All right.
And let's bring up Stone Harbor's guy. Hey, great job, Dennis Ecke from Stone Harbor. Get a second right next to Brigantine, man.
Great job, man. Yeah, it was fun.
So I was just asking Ron, with all the races that's been dominated over the last few years by Grenice and Gowdy, Graves, and it feels pretty good to get a second in a race of this magnitude.
That's right, man. It's good when everybody gets a nice clean start and it seemed like that. So it's good stuff. A drag race.
This is a prestigious race. It's got to mean a lot to you.
A huge honor,
Yeah.
All those guys that fought for us in World War II and everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. And to have you guys come in and compete at a high level like that, it's something to see. It's a really good.
It's pretty cool, man.
So listen, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dennis.
All right.
There's Dennis Ecke. He came in second.
Yeah.
It's good to see the new blood there.
Yeah. That's what you want in these races. You want competitive things and guys thinking about who they're going to have to beat next week.
All right, I believe we're going to take let's do some business here. 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 74th annual Margate Memorial Lifeguard Races are brought to you by Ridgeway Legal, South Jersey champions in business and real estate law. Ridgeway Legal, 4 generations and going strong. Located at 15 Shore Road in Linwood, 609-927-0126. And by Blitz's Market, with 2 locations to serve you, 21st Street, 34th Street, and Asbury Avenue. Voted best deli in Ocean City 4 years running. Come try one of our famous breakfast sandwiches or delicious hoagies. It's Blitz's Market only in Ocean City. And by McCann Realtors, family owned and operated since 1939. Experience the McCann difference. Located at 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle. We're a one-stop shop, realtor for sales, rentals, investment, mortgage, lending, and appraisals. 609-263-7422. And by Maynard's Cafe and Starlight Garden, located at 9306 Amherst Avenue in Margate. Family owned since 1966. Open 365 days a year from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Home to $2 Bud Light drafts with live music Wednesday through Sunday during the summer. It's the official post-race after party held at Margate. All right, when we return, we'll wrap things up. You're listening to the 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the Margate Memorials and on the 97.3 mobile app. We're back here at the Margate Memorials for the 74th annual Margate Memorials live from the beach in Margate. Right now, Scooter, this is pretty unique. We are literally driving on our truck. We're on a 5-ton Army truck for the broadcast, and we're being driven up to the lifeguard station for the awards ceremony, which this is pretty wild. I've never experienced this before, Scooter.
I know. People are looking at us like I hope they're not defending us, our country here, those guys, because we're in trouble.
It's so beautiful. What a beautiful night. We can see Atlantic City in all its glory to the north. You can see all the casinos and just a wild scene. The crowd is all moving up to the lifeguard station here right in front of Lucy the elephant. And we're getting ready for the awards ceremony. And John, great race tonight, man. Just picture it. Just outstanding.
Well, you know what? The singles was probably the biggest surprise of the evening. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to be honest with you. Not really for me, because I've seen Ron DeFelice flirting with victory.
Actually, you got a good point.
He's been in and out. John, let's face it. He's been in and out. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years.
Look at the guys who were in contention, like Stone Harbor. Seattle City was contending in almost every race. Upper Township was contending. Crest was contending. Crest is having a pretty big year on their own right.
They are.
They've won a number of things. So,
well, John Burkett solidifies the Wildwood Crest lineup with he's I don't know if he's going to have enough to beat Tepper, but he's going to get a second or third.
He's going to score points, and let's face it, if they put some points up on the board in the doubles and singles, next Friday night they're going to be right in the mix.
And that sets up the scene for what's going to be a great race Friday night at the South Jersey Championships, live from the beach in Longport. We'll be there next week covering the race. John, will be our third year. It'll be our third year.
Right, and this will be, Longport going in will be a 3-time defending champion.
A 3-time defending champion.
Can we get the Army truck again?
Yeah, we're going to be in the Army truck again.
This same thing?
Same truck, yeah.
No way.
As we get doused with diesel fuel.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I saw the Care Bears a few minutes ago after sucking in some of those fumes. But
we're gonna get a chance to maybe talk to a couple captains, a couple chiefs once we get up to the area for where the ceremony is being held. Right now, we're just waiting for the pedestrians to clear the area, and then we'll make our way up. And John, these lifeguard races are something to behold. It's a treasure to South Jersey.
There's no doubt. I mean, we've been a part of it for so many years. You see, a lot of people out tonight, a lot of vets. Ocean City had a big contingent. Of course, Margate, tonight it's traditionally their reunion. So a lot of Margate guys out here, and it was nice to see Gowdy and Graves come in with a ton.
As we literally go up the hill, you can hear the truck working real hard in the background.
Almost cut out here.
This is kind of unique. This is really cool. Something that we've never experienced.
What's neat about these races, though,
the old guys, the old alumni, the veterans that come down still, the Swifts we saw, who were local guys here, they come down for the races. They were big, champions back in the day. So it's neat when everybody still gets together.
We're up here on the top of the hill, and we're getting ready to make our way down. I don't know if we're going to get any closer, but I'll tell you what, there's a big crowd here, and of course we're waiting to see who's going to win the prestigious trophy for the Margate Memorials. Now tomorrow, Scooter, on the show, we're going to have a big show lined up tomorrow. What are you bringing to the table, Scooter? What interests you?
We're going to talk some Philly sports a little bit. We're going to have Brett Myers on the show.
Brett Myers going to be on our show tomorrow.
Some Phillies and stuff like that. So
they're celebrating the 09 team. The 09 team. They're going to celebrate the 09 team.
Yeah, I heard Cliff Lee didn't come in town for that.
Yeah, Cliff Lee didn't come into town for that.
No.
Of course, we'll talk Eagles football, and we'll have some fun tomorrow. Mike Gill and Pete Thompson have been talking this week about your best sports trip. And I know you've been on a few of them, Scooter. I've been on there. I've been to some with you. But what comes to your mind?
A trip?
There's something you put together where you went on a sports road trip.
God, funniest one? Going up to see Brian Propp when he played for the Whalers. We took a train up because neither of us wanted to drive, and he and Chris were up there, living up there, and we went up to Hartford to see Proper play, and the stadium was inside of a mall, which was crazy, and they had some neat things up there where they sell like maple syrup and stuff like that up there. They're in little huts. You just go up, you take the maple syrup, and you leave money in a box.
Are you serious?
I go, gee, this was back where we lived. They'd steal the whole box and the money and everything and all the maple syrup. I said, how did they do that? It was like the honor system. It was great though. But that was a fun road trip.
As we right now, this is so cool. We're like parting the seas here. This big, huge Army truck.
Getting in a position here.
5-ton Army truck as we're parting the seas to get up for the ceremonial.
Moses here. Holy
funny.
We almost just went out of the truck.
I wish our listeners could see this. This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
I think it's a good thing they can't see this.
What we're doing, we're riding over the dunes in a 5-ton Army truck as we
and the brakes don't work too well.
As we broadcast live, and every time the driver hits the brakes, we go flying with all our equipment. We've lost our sound system, but
we almost lost Donahue too.
We almost lost Donahue off the back.
Well, that wouldn't be much of a loss.
But we're getting ready for the presentation of the Margate Memorial Trophy, which is going to be presented by by Greg Smallwood and Mike Sincata will present the winning Beach Patrol. And
listen,
we're going to bring up Dan Adams here.
I got no fear of this thing getting stuck. I don't know about your vehicle, though, Billy. That should be interesting.
Really?
So we're going to get former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Dan Adams, is going to come up and say a few words. You're going to watch the mics.
We're unloading some equipment.
There are a lot of people in the area here waiting for the.
Hanging out for the results.
Hanging out for the results. The greenhouse is packed. This is a lot of fun. If you didn't get a chance to get down here and experience this, you want to make sure that you put this on the calendar. We will be broadcasting live next week on the beach in Longport for the 2019 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, and we're going to have a big crowd. We're going to have a big crowd there for that. I expect to see a big crowd assembled here, and we're waiting for Dan Adams, former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, making his way up to the truck. We got maybe about 20 minutes left in the broadcast as we wait for the results of the race, and here he comes, the man who put this all together.
The myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend. You might have a little adult drink on that.
That's all right. I can handle it.
You can improvise, can't you?
It's orange. It's orange.
It's going to stick to your ears.
How you doing, guys?
Dan
Great
Adams,
event tonight. Great
first of all,
race.
before we get into the racing, Dan, I want to take a few minutes to say thank you so much for all that you did to get this whole operation up and running. I really want to thank you because not only was it a great race, you took your time, all your effort, the Margate City Fire Department, Greg Smallwood, Mike Sincati, you guys did a great job. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You know, Billy, we do this anytime, and we're going to do this again next week, and we're going to have a great time. It's all about South Jersey lifeguarding. You know that. We're all about it, and this is the greatest event ever. To be here and be a part of this every year is just awesome.
Now, you know, the Adams family has always been generous with stuff, and I'm not talking about Gomez and Mortician. Danny and Bob have been involved in everybody. The whole family's been involved, so it's great.
Yeah, this is just, you know, it's all about the people, and it's all about providing the service, and we did what we had to do tonight to help make this happen, and that's what matters.
Well, you did an outstanding job, and I just really want to thank you again. I want our listeners to know that you did a lot of work in securing what we're doing here, the 5-ton truck that we're broadcasting live from, and allowing ESPN to set up our equipment here. We got some new winners, the singles row and the Ron DeFelice from Brigantine and Dennis Ecke from Stone Harbor. Some new blood in there, Dan.
It was interesting.
They're veterans, though. They know what to do when they're out there.
You know, this is going to definitely take my whole commentary for next week to another level, because now I got all these different people.
You got a lot
all
of
these
players.
names I got to add.
You got a lot of players in the mix.
You know, Bill, I told you before, I've been preparing for this for weeks now, so I got my stats ready. We'll have everything together, and good news is we're going to have a direct line with one of the people next week. So we're going to have direct line on all the stats going on during the race. We're going to have play-by-play.
They did provide us with a walkie-talkie today.
We're going to be on a separate channel than anybody else next week. It's just going to be us and someone out there giving us the play-by-play. So that's going to be awesome.
We are wired in.
And we're waiting momentarily for the winner, the results of the 2019 Margate Memorials. Live at the beach. They're calculating the score. What's going on right now, Scooter?
Well, they're just making sure they have all the results correct. You know, it's not a lot of calculations with 3 different races. It's not too much, but they want to make sure that they got, you know, it's a tough call down there. They got, you know, Margate's got, and then there's always somebody else from another beach patrol that's hanging with those guys and making sure that, you know, it's tough. It's like a horse race sometimes. You're not sure who's the winner.
Now, guys, you guys know at the Atlantic City Classic, there was a lot of distance between lane 1 and lane 17. Plus, John McShane, a big fog rolled in. You couldn't even see one end to the other.
Where you're going. It's interesting. I wanted to ask Dan why he was here. Is there a prescribed difference in the South Jersey Chiefs Association, manual, we'll call it, for the distance between the flags?
There absolutely is. Well, the distance, but there's also not really the distance. The distance is kind of set up. We try and keep it equal for everybody. Try and keep equidistant, but the times are what's a factor in the South Jersey race. The races, all these races are going to be a little bit longer than what was here tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So, how do you feel, Dan? Like different beach patrols set their flags at different lengths. Do you think it should be all uniformed throughout the season, or do you like having?
You got to leave it for each beach patrol. They set their hometown rule. It's their race. It's their course.
Scooter, you said
it's a prescribed distance. And I was more curious about the distance between the lanes. And I
think that's pretty much, you know, the good thing is, and we've used the last couple of years in Longport, Mark Jamieson has been the flag guy. I'm not sure if he's the flag guy again for next week, but I'm pretty sure he probably will be.
Right.
And Mark does a great job to make sure the flags are good and equal distant, and not only the distance between them.
We trained him.
Yeah, the distance between them, but also the distance for the course. And I can tell you that the doubles next week will probably be about 14 to 16 minutes.
All right, guys, here comes Chief Smallwood, and Mike Sincata, the captain of the Margate City Beach Patrol. They're getting ready to do the announcements for the winning. Let's listen in to the commentary.
How far is it?
All right, so we're right now.
We're just waiting. They're getting ready to go on the mic now.
We're getting ready to hear. We're getting ready to hear the commentary or the
Captain Sincati.
Captain Sincata.
We also thank our alumni association.
Can you hear that, Josh?
In judging the race.
All right, so
they're talking about basically their judges and the people that are helping out with the race.
The big trophies up on the stage. I don't want to talk too loud. It's like our golf talk, Scooter.
Right.
It's a golf talk right here.
People are clapping for the hard work they put in to make this race.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into these races. It's not just something you just walk here and show up tonight. It takes weeks of preparation to be ready.
Live, the Margate Memorials
It's a lot of fun being here. Being here.
Swift
We
Law
have
Firm
a big
for
crowd
their
assembled
sponsorship
as Mike Sincata from Margate is.
He just gave a shout out to ESPN 97.3 for coming out and
Here
supporting
we
the
go with
guards.
the results for the race.
2019 Margate Memorials.
How about that Graves and Gowdy tonight?
Is
How
that
about that,
unbelievable?
man?
They told me they were going to hang it up. I don't know if they should, Dan.
They definitely have skill, and Chuck's a great oarsman. He's been around a long time. He's got the most South Jersey championships of anybody in history. And Chris
He's only
Graves
36
is
years
just.
old. He's not that old.
But Chris Graves is just an exceptional athlete too. Between the two of them, they just did an awesome job. But you can't count any of these crews out next week. Every one of these in the top 5 or 6 are going to be right in the hunt next week for this race.
And we asked Chris Graves and Gowdy, Dan, what, are they, is this the previous races, they didn't really show up, they didn't even row with some of them.
It's going to be interesting to see what the points come down to. Seattle got 3rd place here tonight.
In the doubles?
And they scored in the singles,
is that
too.
The doubles?
That is the doubles, and I think they might have scored in the swim, too. So they could have enough. I don't know.
So Seattle gets a 3rd in the doubles.
It's going to be close in the overall scoring here tonight when it finishes out. Great race, though. Mike McGrath, Sean Duffy were right there.
Yeah,
Chris Graves and Chuck Gowdy definitely caught some great swells coming in and finished strong, and they won the race outright.
Yeah. Longport came on there quick at the end there.
Doubles champion Graves and Gowdy.
They're
being announced right now.
Yeah, they're just 2 exceptional athletes.
Yep.
And how can we say anything about Chuck Gowdy with how many South Jersey championships he has? He is a legend in the time. He will go on in history of South Jersey lifeguarding forever.
And they're getting their pictures taken right now for the press.
I think I counted like 9 South Jersey championships.
Is that what it is? 9?
I think it is 9, and that is the record.
So Frank Brady from Ocean City gets a 5th.
From Wildwood,
Brendan Lewis gets a 4th.
Where's he from?
From Wildwood.
Okay.
In 3rd place from Brigantine.
3rd place, Brigantine.
Okay.
Brigantine.
Well, it's going to come down to this. Whoever got 2nd, it's going to make the difference, because if it wasn't CIL.
Jack Fenton, I think, from Atlantic City got 2nd, I want to say. But I'm not sure. Here it is, the 2nd place finish.
It's 2nd place from Wildwood Crest.
No.
Wow.
Wildwood Crest.
Yeah.
So it's not
Wildwood Crest.
Yeah,
John
so
Burkett
I think Longport might have it with 9, and Margate and CIL might both have 8, and that'll be the finish.
1. See, you just don't know, Dan. We can speculate
you
and call
know who
it.
I'm pulling for, Bill. I'm not going to say what shirt I'm wearing, but I work for one city, but you know where I'm pulling for when it comes to these races.
Joseph Tepper.
Joey Tepper.
Joey Tepper.
Let's talk a little bit about
outstanding.
You had John Tepper's brother.
Yeah, John's a South Jersey champion. Joey's a South Jersey champion. Back-to-back years. You just can't get any better swimming. This kid is exceptional. He's won every race by at least 45 seconds
too, Dan.
or up to a minute, and you just can't. There's nobody that can touch him. Let me tell you, Brian Booth told me before he got on the beach patrol he would be a South Jersey champion, and I give Brian Booth a lot of credit for that, because he knows swimming in this area and he knows everything about it. He called that from the start.
Well,
so
you know what the sad thing was? I was breathing harder than Joey was after he came in from the swim.
And that was just getting up out of your
I
chair.
Out of the chair, a lot of work.
And lifted his adult beverage.
Yeah. Well.
So there's a hometown favorite just getting announced. He got 5th.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, a young athlete, great kid. Chris Spires did a great job here tonight. Good for him.
He got a 3rd, right?
He did get a 3rd, and great for Chris Spires. Way to come for the hometown crowd. And he was thrown in this race last minute because he didn't even know he was going to be rowing until they decided.
He had an unbelievable second half of the race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you can't count him out. He got 3rd last week in Wildwood.
Yeah.
So depending on what Margate's game plan is for next week.
I see some gray hair with Dennis. He looks like he's
but you can't count.
From Brigantine.
How about that, Ron D. Felice? Good for him. Good for Ron.
Just took Greg Smallwood down almost.
Yeah, I think they know each other. What do you think? You think they might work together in Brigantine together? I think they might work together in Brigantine.
Maybe. It's a little bit of a.
Here we go now.
Here we go. Let's see. Are we going to hear the chant? Let's see if we're going to hear the chant.
This is pretty exciting stuff right here.
Team scoring here.
Brigantine.
How many points? Do we give a point total here? What do we got?
I don't know.
Should be 8.
Brigantine had
I would think it's 8.
8
And
points.
Margate had 8 points. So
Margate wins in the.
I don't want to tell you. No, Longport wins overall with 9 points.
I mean,
yeah.
between second and third.
Okay.
Margate City.
Okay, there you go.
Margate City.
Man.
It's another second year in a row for Longport. You know, we'll take another championship.
Margate Memorial Team Champion. Congratulations, Longport.
Hey, there we go. Billy Schweim, both alumni of that Beach Patrol, right, Billy?
Right, I'm proud of these guys breaking my stuff.
You know?
John McShane, Scotty McKay.
Hey, forget about that last place Beach Patrol. That's no longer a piece. No longer.
In the early dark days of Longport, there was Billy Schweim.
Right.
Hey, we're happy,
What
Billy.
a legacy.
We're happy we got Billy to come over to Longport for
Matt
sure.
Kelm, Sean Duffy.
We couldn't handle him in
Joey
Ocean
Tepper,
City.
Right.
And
it's actually Brian Duffy, Sean's nephew.
Oh,
It's his son. His son Andrew. Andrew was in there. Andrew Duffy got into there for the picture. So
look
what
at
a great night.
Longport once again dominates.
You know what? It wasn't really a domination tonight. Tonight was enough. They did what needed to be done to get the points to win the event, and that's what matters.
Let's get Matt Kelm up here.
Matt Kelm.
Let's get Matt Kelm up here because your former Beach Patrol, and now you pass the torch to Matt, and Matt is just continuing your legacy.
You know what? It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about the guards. It's about the people. These guys put their time and effort in, training all year long to do this and be prepared. And, you know, I don't want to call any shots, but there's nobody going to beat Joey Tepper. It's not going to happen.
We talked about during the raid. All right, let's welcome in the chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Matt Kelm. And Matt, congratulations, man. You guys did it again.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really
it's
appreciate it.
unbelievable, Matt.
Well, they did all the heavy lifting. I was just standing on the beach watching.
Well, you know, Matt, we were talking right before you came up about how these guys are dedicated in their training and they go out there every day and do what needs to be done to make this happen. Tonight, it wasn't an easy race tonight.
It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't, but it was enough to get the job done to win the overall title with 9 points, and that's what matters in the end. It's a team effort all around, and that's what really matters.
Absolutely, team effort. Everybody contributed, and you know what? That makes for exciting racing when you're standing on the beach and you're trying to do the guessing game with respect to points, and you know it comes down to what your singles guy is going to do, and if he's going to get points, it really makes it exciting for everybody in the crowd. It makes it a little bit of a knee knocker and makes my stomach a little queasy when I'm standing there. But
this sets the stage for next week, the culmination of the South Jersey Champions. You guys will be hosting the South Jersey Championship in Longport, and I guess you're looking forward to that.
And Matt, I just want to interject a couple of things because we talked about it before you came up. I assured Billy that the doubles will be closer to 16 minutes. The singles will be closer to 6 minutes, and the overall, you know, it's going to be a long race. But that's the rules, and that's the way it plays. It's 14 to 16 minutes for the singles, or doubles. It's 4 to 6 minutes for the singles, and the swim, I think, is 14 to 16 minutes as well. So you're going to see longer racing next week. You're going to see a little bit longer in the overall. Correct.
And you remember from us working together, I was a stickler for comportment when it came to setting the flags. Remember that?
Yeah, and I actually brought it up here tonight, and hopefully, I don't know who you have as the flag master next week, but I was hoping that Jameson would be back. I don't know if he is or not, but who is the flag master next week?
We're giving J-Mo a siesta this year, and Kip Emick is going to come over and check
so
him
we
for
got
us.
Kip.
Yeah.
And then who's going to be the weighmaster this year?
The weighmaster is going to be Chief Greg Smallwood of the Margate Beach Patrol.
So that's the same for the last 3 years.
You guys, obviously, your two communities border one another. Everybody knows everybody. It makes for a more friendly competition. But you guys, it's like for pride too.
It is, and we talked about this before, Matt. And you and I were together on Longport Beach Patrol when Billy and I talked about it. We were the LPBP, Last Place Beach Patrol, and that has changed over the last several years. And when we won our first South Jersey Championship down in Avalon in 2016, what a night that was for all of us.
Never forget it.
And let me tell you, we had a prior captain crying as he drank out of the cup and enjoyed that moment at Maynard's with us. So it was a great night.
Matt, listen, I want to thank you so much, and I look forward to being on the beach with you guys next year for your another defense. Next week. What did I say? Next year?
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
Of the South Jersey
Friday, August 9th.
Hey, we'll be there.
I'll tell you. I thought you said next year. I was like, Billy, I'm not taking that bait, man. I'm not biting on that. But you know, these guys, you know, like Dan said, they're regular guards. They work every day. just like all the guards in this competition, I can assure you. And that's what the best part about what it is that we do on a daily basis, and it makes these competitions even sweeter because it really is an extension of what they do every single day, and that's, you know, they're keeping people safe out there, and that's what makes this so much fun. What I like to see is the mutual respect amongst the competitors. You can see that Mike and Sean went up and shook the hand of Chris Graves and Chuck Gowdy. You know, they make a point to do that. It's not like it was in the past where it was so adversarial. I'm sure you remember those days.
I remember that vividly.
But yeah, we're looking forward to next week. I know they're gonna row their guts out. They're gonna swim their guts out just like everybody else, and we're gonna do our best to put on a good show.
I'm sure you will.
Hey,
All right,
Matt, look,
there's
there's that Joey Tepper right there.
Joey! Let's get Mike Sincata up here because Mike. Let's get Mike Sincata up here from Margate. Mike, want to thank you so much, Mike. Mike, want to thank you so much for allowing us so much access. What a great race tonight.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks for being here, and it was great coverage. And you know, I'm sure that it brought the races inside everybody's house, and it was
Eddie,
great.
you couldn't be here. We brought it to you live, Mike. The 74th annual means a lot to you. This dates back to 1946. It's a special race.
It means a lot to us. 1946, you know, and right after World War II, to honor all the people that served in the war and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And you can't say more than that.
And look what we're standing on. We're standing on a 5-ton Army cargo truck. It's part of the whole procession. Right. It's part of the whole thing. It just really caps off the Margate Memorials and what it's all about.
That's right. I'll tell you, this sums it all up.
Yeah.
And we had a great race tonight.
You guys did a great job putting on the show from the beginning, from the Chiefs meeting in the beginning, throughout the whole thing. We had a huge crowd. It had to be like 6,000, 7,000 people on this beach today. It was phenomenal.
I'm sure, I'm sure the local businesses are going to really appreciate this afterward, too.
Well, you know, I can really, Mike, too, we can appreciate. I spent 21 years on the beach and being involved in the races all those years. I could just tell that you guys did a lot of work to make sure you were trying to get everything straight. And people don't realize the beach isn't a straight thing. It curves, and you have to set your flags to that, and you have to set your finish line to that. So you guys have always done a great job at Margate here of doing a good, solid race where it's fair for everybody.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Scott. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody, Mike Sincata, Dan Adams, for helping us out with everything from soup to nuts, preparing and putting on this show. Mike, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy.
Scotty McKay, John McShane, Bruce Donahue, the city of Margate. Stay tuned for tomorrow, the locker room. The locker room with Billy Schweim at 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
30.
We got Brett Myers tomorrow, Scooter.
Brett Myers coming in. Going to talk to us a little bit about the Phillies. What he's thinking might be in the call.
Hey, and we'll see everybody next week, Friday, August 9th in Longport, 6:30 p.m. This show kicks off at 6 o'clock again. We're all going to have a great time. It's going to be a great night for everyone and a great night for lifeguarding and racing in itself.
I'm looking forward to Longport next week.
We'll see you on the beach in Longport next week in Longport for the South Jersey Championship. Hey, South Jersey, it's Billy Schweim from The Locker Room. Join me this and every Saturday at 10 a.m. as we recap the week in sports. Each week, I'll be joined in studio by my twin brother, Bobby, and Scotty McKay as we debate all the hot topics in sports. I will interview a wide variety of sports celebrities from the Philadelphia sports scene and more. Get your sports talk from a fan's perspective, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with a Schweiner. It's The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.